This is Shireesha from Master of Business Administration, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So, I wanted to take a session on monopoly and monopolistic competition now. So, coming to this monopolistic competition, so we generally see this monopolistic competition in and around us. So, the types or different firms which are participating in monopolistic competitions are like we see general businesses like street foods, pizza huts, coffee stall. So all these type of firms or all these types of businesses are coming under the umbrella of monopolistic competition. So this is one type of imperfect competition. So in imperfect competition, we already know that there are few types of imperfect competitions like it is monopoly, monopolistic, and oligopoly, duopoly. So these are the major important ones of the imperfect competitions. So out of which now we are discussing more about monopolistic competition in this session. So coming to this monopolistic competition, so it is a kind of imperfect competition. And now going with we generally see all the different types of businesses which have more competition, which have plenty of firms which are participating in such kind of market is what is monopolistic competition. So here it is a more realistic and we can also find product differentiation in case of this monopolistic competition. So when we compare with perfect competition, so perfect competition means we will have a product similarity, or we are going to produce a similar type of product in case of perfect competition. But in case of imperfect markets, or when we talk about only monopolistic competition, we are going to deal only with the product differentiation, because here, unlike the perfect markets, they are going to facilitate many variety of products. So they are product differentiated. Okay. So now coming on with the assumptions of the perfect or assumptions of the monopolistic competition are like first one is we will find many producers and many consumers. Like as the perfect market, in perfect competition also we have many buyers and many sellers. But coming to this imperfect market, that is monopolistic market, in this also we do have many buyers and sellers, but the degree of concentration in this monopolistic competition will be low when we compare with the perfect competition. And the second assumption is that like all the consumers are going to perceive that the profit, or perceive that here they are going to have consumers perceived price, because there will be more competition here. Why there will be more competition? Because there will be more sellers, there will be more businesses which are entering into this kind of market. So that's the reason we find many firms coming into this entering into this type of market. So obviously all the firms which are competing, which are into the market, will compete with each other. So because once there is a competition, we as a customer can have lesser amount of price, so that the price will be the perceived price of the customers. And these are like all the imperfect marketers will not be price takers, they are price makers. And the next one is like price makers. So they are creating their own price. Each individual firm has their own liberty to go with the price making. So they can adopt different pricing techniques or pricing strategies to fulfill the customer's requirement as well as the market conditions. And there will not be any restrictions to enter and exiting from the market, just like the perfect market. Now let's see what are the different curves which we will be knowing about monopolistic competition. So in this monopolistic competition, we see different types of curves. So the first curve we generally see is like average revenue curve, marginal revenue curve, price curve, and profit area, which we are going to know in this. So in this perfect competition, like not only this revenue curves, we are also going to concentrate on cost curves. So we have different cost curves and revenue curves. So coming to this, like why this marginal revenue and average revenue curve, this average revenue and marginal revenue curves both are falling downwards just like the demand curves. Let's understand why these two are falling. Otherwise, we can see that average cost curve will be of U shape all the time. So, of course, it is U shape in this monopolistic competition also. And coming to this marginal cost, MC is a marginal cost. So, coming to this marginal cost, so here also marginal cost is going to cut the average cost curve from the below at the minimum point of the marginal cost curve, right? So it flows upwards, right? So this is how the average cost curve and marginal cost curve looks like in case of monopolistic competition also. And the major difference between the perfect competition graphs and the monopolistic competition graphs is here marginal revenue will be less than the average revenue curve. Always marginal revenue curve will be less than the average revenue curve. That is the first important point. We have to make a note of it. And then we have to determine what is the price and output relationship between these curves, right? So now here the average revenue curve falls this way and the marginal revenue curve falls this way, right? So where do we get the equilibrium point? The point where we are cutting the marginal cost. This is the point where we can say MC is equal to MR. That is marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. Okay. So now let's understand how the curves actually determine what is the profit and what is the price. Okay. So as we have seen different 4 types of curves in the previous slide. So here we can see here marginal cost, average cost and average revenue and marginal revenue curves, right? As I told, the point where we are going to cut the marginal cost curve with marginal revenue curve, here we call it as a point of equilibrium where MR is equal to MC, right? MR is equal to MC. So now from this particular point, we need to draw a line which is a equilibrium line which should touch the output, as well as the average revenue, So this is the equilibrium line, right? So from the equilibrium line, so we need to draw a line, equilibrium point, we have to draw a line which should touch the output as well as which should also touch the average revenue curve, right? So this is how we need to draw equilibrium line. Once we draw this line, we can determine what is the profit, what is the cost and what is the price here. Okay. So from this particular point, we should also draw a line which is going to touch the price or cost on the y-axis. Okay, on the y-axis. So here we got what is the cost. This is the cost which is incurred by the firm. And now what is the total revenue? So this is the average revenue we got. So the average revenue from this particular point, we need to draw a line which is going to touch the y-axis again. So this will be price, this will be cost. Okay. So now we know what is cost and what is price. How we are determining this is cost and this is price? How? I'll just tell you. So here, at the point where our MR is cutting, MC is cutting MR curve. So MC is cutting MR curve. At this particular point, it is going to cut average cost further and then move on, right? So at that particular point, we determine it to be cost, and it is going to equilibrium line touches average revenue. So this is a revenue which a firm is going to get, right? So that's the reason we are going to determine that as a profit. So this is the profit which a firm is going, this is the price which a firm has to fix for, so that they are going to have this whole portion as profit. This is the profit, right? So this is how the price output relationship goes on in the perfect competition. So this profit, we call it as abnormal profits. Why it is abnormal profits? Because as a firm enters into this monopolistic competition, there may be many different types of firms which are already there or sustained in that monopolistic competition. But if a firm has just entered into the market, so due to its uniqueness or due to the newness of that particular firm, so it may enjoy the good abnormal profits in case of short run. And later, when we go with the long run monopolistic competition, so the profits which we have seen in the short run will not be there in the long run. So why they are not there in the long run, we'll discuss in the next graph. So now coming to this long run equilibrium for monopolistic competition is like there are few factors which are going to make a firm individual purchasing power in this monopolistic competition is because there may be many competitors which are offering for lowest price. So because of this, so the profits which are enjoyed in the short run may not be enjoyed in the long run. So those profits we call it as supernormal profits. Okay. And now coming to the next one. So here they are going to produce different types of products, not the similar products. Okay. So why they are here, just like the perfect competition. When we take perfect competition, they are going to produce same kind of products. But here there is product differentiation. Because of its product differentiation, it is going to change the pricing pattern from firm to firm. So one cannot fix the price, like market cannot fix the price. So individual firm is going to fix the price. And now there will not be any barriers to enter into the market or exiting from the market. So this also makes a firm pricing power in the hands of monopolistic in the hands of the firms. So it also requires firms to price competitively, because one has to check with the other competitors, and based on the competitor's price, he should also fix the price. For example, if I fix the price at 10 rupees of my product, and already a competitor who are offering same kind of product for 8 rupees. So I may lose the sales at that particular point. So that's the reason what I need to do is I need to fix the price at either 8 or 8.5, or if I want more profits, I can go with 9 rupees also, if my product is so unique from that similar product what the competitor is offering for. So this is how the long run equilibrium curves look like in case of this monopolistic competition. So unlike monopoly, Like in monopoly, there will be more of barriers to enter into the market, but here there will not be barriers to enter into the market. And in short run, as I discussed here, in short run, this is short run curves and this is long run curves. As I discussed here, we are going to have super normal profits. This part we are going to have super normal profits, right? These are super normal profits where the firm is going to enjoy in the short run because of its unique features of the firm which are coming into the business. So why you may ask me why they are enjoying supernormal profits in the initial stage of their entry and why not in the long run. I'll just tell you that because it is because the a new firm or a new idea is generated. With that new idea, they are going to start a business. Once they start the business, like some other fellow may also get the same kind of idea. Once we cannot say like just like me, somebody else may also think and start their own business, right? So according to the market condition, the technology updates, right? According to the new technology, like a firm has to move on. So one is offering a new technology, like if iPhone at the time of initial stages of entering into the iPhone entering into the market, at that time there may be supernormal profits, but with the same features of iPhone, we may also get similar kind of products, similar kind of iPhone features in some other mobile phone also, right? Here, that makes the product differentiation, the brand is different here, right? So features may be there, right? So in short run, only iPhone was a unique iPhone which has got its unique features. But now when we look into the mobile market, so we can see like similar kind of features which are also there in iPhone can also be there in Samsung. So that is making the firm suffer with not at least losses, or at least they are at the pace of break even, or they also get profits. So from firm to firm, product to product, this products are going to change. Either they are going to have the profit, or they are going to have loss, or they are going to end up with a break-even point. So here we can see like in this graph, in the short run we are going to have supernormal profits, but here we can see that we are having price here. See, this MC curve cuts the MR curve here, right? So this is the cost curve, and now this is the price curve. Here we may here we are going to have some normal profits, or sometimes like in long run they may earn only profits, or they may end up with a break-even point. See here, this is the point where we can see in the long run equilibrium where our MC is equal to MR, then we are going to have the point of cost, and where our normal profits will be gained, where MR is equal to MC. And the demand curve will be falling downwards in this just like a AC curve. Okay. So this is all about the monopolistic competition and curves in the monopolistic competition. Now let's compare monopolistic competition with the perfect competition, how it works. So like nature of the product, that is number of producers, how many number of producers we have. In case of perfect competition, we have many number of firms which are entering into perfect competition as well as the monopolistic competition. But the degree of concentration of the firms who are selling the products or who are manufacturing the products will be more in case of perfect competition. relatively good in case of monopolistic competition. And now coming to the goods and services which are available to the customers are here in perfect competition. One will find a homogeneous product, that is the same product is identical here where either we buy a particular product from shop X or shop Y, it is the same features or same product we are going to get, right? So that is homogeneous product. And next one is it is differentiated. The products are differentiated. As I was telling, like iPhone and Samsung. So Samsung also offers with very good features just like the iPhone features, but the brand is different. So the product is different here. So product differentiated in monopolistic competition. And now coming to the firm control over is they're on their own prices. So here we'll not have price takers. Here they are price takers. They are not able to make their own price or fix their own price. But in case of monopolistic competition, we can find there will be pricing power because of the competition in the market for the different kind of products what firms have entered into this monopolistic competition. And coming to marketing, promotions and branding, there will not be any requirement to promote about their firms or products or anything. There will not be any advertisement cost in case of perfect competition. But when we compare with the monopolistic competition, absolutely the advertisement becomes a key role for competing in the market. And coming to the barriers, we have no barriers to enter into the market of perfect competition. It is zero, but monopolistic competition, there may be few barriers to enter into the market. And coming to the efficiency of the curves in case of perfect competition is, yes, they are efficient. And here in case of perfect competition, we can say price marginal cost will be equal, and here price will be more than the marginal cost. Okay, here price is equal to marginal cost, but here price is more than marginal cost. And coming to long run, here there will be minimum long run average cost, and here there will be higher long run average cost curve in case of monopolistic competition. So this is all about monopolistic competition. Now we'll move on with the monopoly. What is this monopoly? What is this? Mono means it is a Latin term which is the word single. Poly means seller. Poly means seller. Okay, it is a Latin word monopoly. Monopoly means single seller. So coming to single seller, we will have only one particular seller who is giving services to many customers. Okay, there will not be any close substitutes for these kind of sellers, and we cannot see any other commodity who is selling with some other party. So these are generally like in our regular lifetime or like regular life, we can see only government firms are going to offer this monopoly kind of markets. So we can say that Indian railways are one of the monopoly. Yes. So if it is, suppose if these railways are privatized, then what we see? Then definitely it is not going to monopoly. So now only the Indian railways are offering this kind of service. So any other railways are offering any kind of systems to any kind of services to the customers? No. So in India, Indian railways is monopoly, right? So if it is privatized, then it will not be monopoly, right? So because many people may enter into this kind of market and do their own business, right? So that's the reason it is not a monopoly if it is privatized. So generally we see like monopolies are existing in the government sector, which are very controlled markets. And not only the Indian railway system, we can also see that issuing Aadhaar cards. So who can issue Aadhaar? Only few, only government can issue, right? I cannot print or I cannot start that business, right? So that's the reason it is also a unique, or it is also a monopoly in giving the Aadhaar cards. And for that matter, we can also take that issuing of licenses and all comes under monopoly. And this monopoly in private sector, we can say like very few of them are there who are holding the whole share of the market, like Google, Microsoft, Apple. All these are contributing their highest share to the market, so they can also be called as monopolies in case of technology or any other things which they are offering for, right? So one should have the whole they themselves are individual firms and they becomes industry too. So that's the reason we call them as a monopoly. So let's move on with what are the features of monopoly now. Coming to features of monopoly, first one, features or assumptions. First one, we can say we will have single seller and we'll have many buyers for this kind of monopoly market. And we'll have as monopoly as individual firm, and it also acts as an industry too. And there will be lot of restrictions to enter into such kind of markets. When any new firm wants to become a monopoly, there will be lot of barriers or restrictions to enter into this monopoly market. And we cannot find any close substitutes in case of monopoly, and we can say they are price makers. And in this monopoly, we see price discrimination. What is this price discrimination? This is the basic and important feature of monopoly, because in monopoly, he himself is a single seller, right? He has the full power of pricing. So what he does is he's going to discriminate the price. He offers discounts to one person and he may not offer the discount to other person. So from customer to customer, price is varying here. As it is monopoly, one cannot say like the price is why the price is discriminating. So here a monopolist is going to discriminate the price. Suppose one customer is an old customer. For example, I'm narrating. If one customer is an old customer to a monopoly, so he wants to give some benefit to them. So he is going to offer the products at discount rate, or he is going to give the product for a higher rate. This we can see in different regular markets, like in bookstalls, like where we see where we find many types of shops, similar kind of shop. Then we find this kind of price discrimination. Okay. And always in this monopoly, the demand curve is going to slope downwards, as the price is discriminating from person to person or from set of people to people. So these are the features of monopoly. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.